Hello and welcome to the TV show. I'm John.
And I'm Scotto.
Now, we were going to bank some more Lane episodes this week, but something important happened this past weekend. The season premiere of Doctor Who. Not just the season premiere, but a new doctor
Right.
and a female doctor. The first time in the series we've had a female doctor. If it was just another Capaldi season, we probably would have waited a few episodes to talk
Maybe.
about it. Or season, I should say. We probably would have waited a bit, but this we have to talk about right away. Of course, the new Doctor is played by Jodie Whittaker, who we've talked about in
Attack the Block.
thank you, Attack the Block. Yeah, I really wasn't sure about her based on previous things I'd seen her in, um, until I started seeing some trailers and clips, and then I was sold.
I mean, I'm trying to remember if we did Attack the Block so long ago,
Yeah.
how I felt about her in it. Um,
I was kind of I liked her well enough, but I just didn't see her as the Doctor.
I think I
Um,
remember wishing they had given her more in that
yeah, yeah.
movie, if I remember right.
You also have seen Broadchurch, which I haven't seen.
I've seen some of it. I
Okay.
haven't seen much.
Okay. So Jodie Whittaker is the new Doctor, and the new companions. There are three of them. Graham O'Brien, played by Bradley Walsh. Ryan Sinclair, played by Tosin Cole, and Yasmin Khan, played by Mandeep Gill. You have an older guy and two younger people in their 20s, a man and a woman. Um, I'm kind of hopeful about them, although they didn't show much potential in the episode.
I thought it was neat to have the. I mean, I'm glad they. I thought it was neat to have it reversed.
Mhm.
The woman
Yeah,
is the doctor.
and then two
The
male
old white
companions.
dude. The
Yeah,
old white dude
yeah,
is
it's the
the
companion. Yeah,
companion.
yeah.
So I'm
Um,
hoping. I mean, honestly, out of the three, I'm hoping Graham is just the companion. Remember the other old guy they had with I think Tennant. It was
like,
Donna's father.
oh right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Walt or Wilt
I was kind of hoping they were going to do more with
with
him
Wilt.
as the
Wilt,
companion
yeah, Wilt was
instead of
great.
just the episode or two that they did.
Right, right.
I was
Um,
kind of hoping he was going to get like a season just with
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I should mention my favorite Doctor is Tom Baker, or is no, your favorite is Tom Baker. My favorite is
Yes.
David Tennant. Whitaker has been compared to a cross between Tennant and Matt Smith.
And Tennant, he is the one that made me go, oh, we could reboot Doctor Who and make new ones.
So you weren't fond of Eccleston?
No, no, I did not like Eccleston at all, actually. I mean, I, you know, was turned off and didn't watch any of the rest of the season. And then when I came back to watch them after watching all the Tenant, I realized why, because he's just a spoiled, rich kid alien, just
Mhm.
like trying to impress a girl for the whole season.
Eccleston's right in the middle for me. He's at 6. Hartnell is at 7. They're so he's kind of meh for me.
I know there's probably a lot of people that are like bastards,
I'm
because they love
avoiding
Eccleston.
I'm avoiding giving out my doctor list too much because it is very controversial.
It's too
Um,
tough to make a list though, because that's the beauty of the show is that you change stars and you change personalities, and it's the same role, it's the same
mhm.
history, but it's a different personality in that position, which makes it compelling to
Oh,
watch.
absolutely, and it's a great gimmick that really just sprung from William Hartnell wanting to retire.
Yeah,
He was getting up there and he wanted to step down. He was done, and the ratings were good. They didn't want to stop, and they just had this idea to have him regenerate. Bring in Patrick Troughton was Doctor Two, my second favorite Doctor. No, my third favorite. Um, Now on to about the companions. I'm kind of hoping that given that we have an older gentleman and a woman who is a cop,
yeah,
that they question the Doctor because my favorite companions are the ones that question the Doctor, and this is
right.
this is gonna where I'm gonna get controversial, and we agree on this one. Our favorite companion is Donna.
What? No, I said Billy Piper. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, no,
It's
no. I
it
think
is
we both agree that she's the worst of the reboot, anyway.
uh, Yeah,
not the worst.
probably out of the reboots. Yeah, maybe.
Of the
You hadn't
reboot.
given it much thought of it.
Mhm.
Who?
I really can't stand Rose, but Donna, I love Donna, and I love Bill for the same reason. They question the Doctor.
Yeah, Amelia. Amy Pond was.
Yeah, maybe the Pawns were good. The Pawns were after the. I think the Pawns were next for me. Yeah, yeah. It's Bill, Donna, or Donna, Bill, the Pawns, then Martha, Clara, because Martha and Clara were both kind of there, and I hated Rose.
I like Martha a lot.
But I'm hoping that since they have an older guy and a cop
Because
as
Martha could
companions.
actually handle herself in a
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, true, true. Yeah, Clara was the one who was just kind of there.
Yeah, but
Um,
she questioned the Doctor too and put him in
yeah,
his place.
not like Donna did.
Yeah, but Donna was the best.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that we have that with either Yasmin or Graham, the old guy or the
We're
cop.
never gonna get someone like Donna who. I
No,
mean,
not
they
quite
were.
like Donna.
I mean, they were doing shtick
Oh yeah,
together.
you're not gonna get another Catherine Tate.
Like
But
the whole thing where they were, across the room from each other, but they couldn't say anything because they're just pantomiming this whole scene. It's fucking brilliant.
if they had stuck with Dr. Donna for the rest of the series until now, I would be perfectly happy.
But yeah, our current Doctor.
Uh-huh. But I'm hoping that the new companions do question her because
Yeah,
Ryan is not going to question her. He is the guy who just does what he's told,
yeah,
and he's kind of annoying in that sense.
yeah. I guess you could definitely say that out of the three, he's probably the least useful. I mean,
Mhm.
the whole premise of the blog, the a 19-year-old learning to ride a fucking
Well,
bike.
no, they explained that, and I thought that was a nice character moment. He can't ride a bike because he has a condition called dyspraxia, which causes a lack of coordination, an actual condition.
All right, so if you're going to learn to ride a bike, where would you go to learn to ride a bike?
Not near a mountain.
A flat surface,
Yes,
perhaps?
not
Something
not a
paved?
hill down to an overhang. No.
Oh, let's go by a cliff and learn
Yeah,
how to ride the bike over the cliff.
yeah. That was a little odd. Also, he's retrieving the bike after he got frustrated and threw it over the cliff,
Yeah.
and he sees these lights just kind of hovering there in front of him, and he touches it.
Touch the shiny
He
candy
just
like button.
he just mysterious light shows up and he touches it.
Can he hold out? Will he hold out?
And later, this thing shows up that looks like a Hershey Kiss wrapped in blue foil, but giant, but bigger. Shows up. He touches that. He's the perfect companion. He runs at danger. That's what all companions do. They run at danger.
He sticks his dick in the hole.
Exactly.
He necessarily shouldn't stick his dick.
Oh, I should mention the episode title, "The Woman Who Fell to Earth."
Nice.
Really nice nodding to Bowie when you have a
Yeah.
gender change.
It's almost the first episode since he's passed, it feels like, because it feels like it's been so long
Except for the Christmas episode, it could have very well been.
since they've had a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the cop, yeah, I like the cop. Well, I mean, she could.
He has
There's this
potential.
potential, right? Yeah,
We
and
have. I can't even put Jodie Whittaker on my list of where I put her. I can't decide where I put her yet because one episode is too soon.
well, right. That is the thing. I think she did well enough on the introduction. We need
We need to see more.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They-
and the way they've been doing this with this series for the past I don't know how many years, they've been taking their sweet time with getting a story out. It hasn't been rushed.
Mhm.
And why not? If you have 50 years to tell a
Oh,
story,
yeah, fair point.
take your time. What's the hurry?
I think they leaned a little too heavily into the new body thing. She really can't get used to the new body.
I thought Matt Smith did that too.
Yeah, they always lean into it, but I think more heavily in this case, which makes sense because of a gender change.
Yeah, I would think so too. Like, wait,
I-
where's my balls?
I like that she wasn't aware of it until I think Yasmin called
Someone
her
called her madam.
madam. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm a woman? And that's all they said about it. They dropped it after that one line, which was good. Um,
Well, because wasn't Matt Smith like after a bit he was like checking himself out,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh my guy, which is thank God.
And they avoided the Doctor Who gag because she doesn't remember her name.
Yeah,
Posing Doctor Who was
I
a
was
question.
kind of expecting the Doctor Who gag. I was kind of surprised they didn't go there.
It's got to show up at some point, but I'm glad they
Yeah.
avoided it this time. Um,
Oh, what about the new aliens? Because I don't think we've seen these guys
well, we
before.
have two villains effectively. One is more of a machine than a villain. It's just this ball of snakes around an electrical core. I feel
Well, yeah,
sorry for anybody who's afraid of snakes.
that was just like a tool that the other
Yeah,
alien
yeah.
was using, though. That
But it
wasn't.
was kind of a villain at the beginning. And then the main villain is this alien in this EV suit that looks a lot like motocross gear. Um, who is his actual name is Simshaw.
Tim Shaw.
The doctor refers to him as Tim Shaw. I'm sure it's a reference to a BBC radio presenter.
Oh yeah.
I would like to think it's a reference to a pickup designer who worked for Fender, pickup designer who worked for Fender for a while. It's probably the BBC guy.
I thought his suit looked a lot like the Halo
Yeah,
suit,
yeah, it does look a
actually.
lot like that show.
The Master
Um,
Chief.
and he takes off his helmet at one point, and his race puts the teeth of their victims in their face. Creepiest fucking thing one of the creepiest things I've seen.
It is. Yeah. That, that really hooked a lot of people, I think. I mean, just like, whoa. I mean, they knew that they were going to be trophies,
Yeah,
the teeth, that he was taking the teeth out for that, but they did not expect it to be in his
no,
skin.
no, no. I kind of thought he was a Cyberman at first. Like maybe
I
they
thought so too.
redesigned the Cyberman.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going on here.
Um, and before we get to that, the giant Hershey Kiss is stolen by these two guys. One of them is the brother of a previous victim. And that was I thought what could have been a really great like side story, really
Well,
dramatic side
yeah.
story. But they ended it too quickly because he hatches from the giant Hershey Kiss and just kills the guy outright.
Yeah, which was kind of like a weird, like ask that question again and
Yeah.
then you won't find out.
Mhm.
Like, all right. It was a very weird way to end that whole thing that
Yeah, yeah.
could have been a very potentially good
Yeah, yeah.
story.
Mhm. And also the doctor and her companions end up with these lights on their collarbones with Tim Shaw embeds in them to basically tell them their lives are running out.
Yeah.
And they really reminded me of Logan's Run.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Very Logan's Run on that one. Overall, I gotta say, Chris Chibnall is the new showrunner. I'm very hopeful. You know,
Yeah,
I,
it's
I,
mixed in this first episode, but his job, his performance,
well, he's the new showrunner, not.
he didn't write this.
I don't think he wrote it. No, he may
How
have
odd
written it.
that, I
I think he
mean,
did write it. No, you're right.
normally the
Yeah,
showrunner writes the
yeah, I
first
think he did write
episode.
it. But yeah, it's hopeful. Um, I love that this doctor builds things. In fact, she built her
Yeah.
own sonic screwdriver.
I was so hoping the sonic screwdriver is just going to be a spoon.
It was based on a spoon.
I was hoping that when she held the spoon up, I was so hoping that was going to be the sonic screwdriver. There were going to be no lights on or anything. It was just going to emit a noise, and then that was going to be it. I was like, oh well, you got it.
It's shaped like a spoon, and I just initially loved that as a Tick fan.
Now, I mean, she kind of, made into kind of a vibrator looking kind of thing.
If you look at it mechanically a spoon, it does look like a spoon. I initially loved that just as a Tick fan. I
Yeah.
completely forgot that Capaldi fenced someone with a spoon in one episode. And apparently the spoon thing goes back to McCoy.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene with him finding these two spoons and like playing them in one scene. So spoons have been a recurring thing. So I
Oh,
like it. It's nice that they mentioned that. And just again, having a doctor who builds things. We haven't had that since Tennant.
I don't
I
remember
think
Tenet building all that much.
he did build some stuff. But Smith never really built anything. Capaldi certainly never did.
No.
So it's nice to have that element. Um, I did take exception to the "only idiots carry knives" line.
That's like the bringing the knife to a gunfight.
But I like that this doctor is very pacifistic because I was worried. She loses her TARDIS. It blows
Yeah.
up. It blew up when during the regeneration. And the last Doctor we had without a TARDIS was Pertwee.
Oh wow.
And I am not a Pertwee fan. He is my least. He's the worst Doctor to me.
What
Because
around what time was this?
he was three.
Oh wow, so really early on.
I don't like Pertwee because he wasn't the Doctor. He was James Bond. He was stuck on Earth. He had a car. He used guns. He was James Bond, not the Doctor. So I was worried about that. Fortunately, they do make it off of Earth at the end.
A lot of those pre-Baker doctors are very boring.
Oh, no, two. Patrick Troughton, one of the best.
Yeah.
Got it. He was great. So they do make it off Earth at the end. It's on an interesting cliffhanger.
Yeah. But there's no TARDIS. So of course when she goes into space,
Yeah,
there's no TARDIS.
yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Also,
You know.
also, I really liked Carl, who is the Tim Shaw's prey. Tim Shaw is a hunter.
Oh yes,
The,
Carl. Poor Carl.
the
He
shtick is
is
that
really special.
this alien race picks a random human who they're gonna hunt, even though it doesn't seem like much of a challenge. And
No.
Carl, the prey they chose, was this guy who was obsessed with self-help books and kept giving himself all of these affirmations.
And here he's a trophy, or could be a trophy.
Yeah, he really was special.
Yeah.
So I love. Go ahead.
Well, it was. I think a lot of that was commentary on big game hunters.
Yeah.
You know, how would you feel if someone just came down and popped a couple of us off, sort of thing like that.
And it's kind of creepy that this alien race just picks a random human who doesn't do anything wrong
Yeah.
to just hunt.
Yeah, I don't know how it picked it. It just like it was on the train. It saw him, and of course the thing that Tim Shaw was cheating.
Yeah.
Bringing down things he shouldn't have been bringing down.
Now I will say I did not expect Grace, Ryan's grandmother, to die.
It was too crowded.
Well,
you knew somebody had to have been.
We saw that the other three were going to be companions in trailers and such, so we knew she wasn't going to be a companion. But
it's
we
the
didn't.
Joy of not watching a trailer to be surprised by the actual episode.
But I didn't know exactly how they were going to shuffle her off. They ended up killing her. Very surprising to kill a potential companion in a season premiere. That gives me some hope as well. And I like the head fake at the beginning, because the very first shot we see Ryan in a YouTube video saying he wants to talk about the greatest woman he's ever met. We assume he's talking about the Doctor. Find out after his grandmother's death that that's who he was talking about.
Yeah.
And then we get this nice montage of him trying to learn to ride a bike in his honor. Fortunately, not set to music.
Yeah. No one cares if you can ride a bike, dude.
I have a feeling he's going to have to learn, because he had to face the dyspraxia later in the episode, of course.
Yeah.
That was his challenge to overcome. It's going to be a thing throughout the season, I have a feeling. And then there's this real long denouement where they have the funeral and the Doctor talking about how she lost her family.
Well, I mean, they had to get to the next thing,
Yeah. And then we get to her outfit, which scared the hell out of me the first time I saw it. Because it looks a lot like Colin Baker's.
I was thinking more of a subdued Mork, kind of thing.
Well, yeah. But Colin Baker, when it was revealed, tweeted, "Wow, something along the lines like, haven't I aged well?" So I was worried we'd have another Colin Baker on our hands. We have more
Colin Baker, if I remember, wore like some loud green plaid
rainbow suspenders, a question mark,
right. That is not like Colin anything remotely near Colin Baker.
It leans in the Colin Baker direction. Fortunately,
a little.
She's not another Colin Baker. Fortunately, it'll be interesting to see how she distinguishes herself from Tennant, because everyone's talking about Tennant.
Wasn't Capaldi dressed like one of the older Doctors?
Yeah, his outfit ultimately, the black and white that she ended up in, looked a bit like Hartnell.
You're right.
And because he was an older Doctor, he was compared to Hartnell, and they are similar types. I was thinking about this. Aside from two outliers, all of the Doctors kind of fit into one of three categories. You have the every person Doctor, Tennant, Eccleston. Who's the other one? I have it all. I have this in my notes. Actually, no, I don't have that in my notes. Tennant, Eccleston, and kind of McCoy a little bit. They were kind of everymans. They were, um,
Ah,
kind of the most normal of them. And then you have the Mad Doctors.
I mean, was Eccleston really an everyman? I mean, like I said, he very much
If I had
was.
to classify him,
He was a smug prick of an
true, true,
alien,
true, true.
looking down upon the humans
Mhm.
more
And
than any
then
other doctor had, really.
you have the Mad Doctors, Smith, Tom Baker. Both of the Bakers are Mad Doctors. That's kind of my least favorite archetype. The Mad Doctors kind of irritate me. And then the Professor Doctors, Hartnell, Capaldi,
Which Capaldi, yeah, was definitely Professor.
Professor. McCoy definitely leaned into Professor. Troughton was a Professor slash Mad Doctor. And then you have the outliers, McGann, who was the Fop Doctor. Um, we're talking. We've decided we're going to review the '96 Doctor Who movie on Zombie Takeout one of these days, and Pertwee, who was Doctor Bond. But I mean, Capaldi looked, outfit kind of resembled Hartnell's, and he was another Professor Doctor. So yeah, there were a lot of similarities. But he did have his own kind of perspective on the character.
So where do you put Jodie Whittaker? Which category do you think she's going to fit in?
I don't know yet. I think she's going to be in every person
Yeah,
more so than anything, because I think she's more Tennant than Smith. She's not a Mad Doctor.
she could very easily go into the Mad Doctor, though.
Could, but I don't see that yet.
If she's making devices.
Yeah, I mean, but they said Tennant and Smith, every man in Mad. So she could go either way. And it'd be interesting if she kind of splits the difference.
Yeah.
I like that the companions came with her accidentally.
Yeah.
That's going to have some great fallout.
It makes a lot of sense because, I mean, the Doctor's trying to be alone really more than anything else.
Particularly after losing Clara traumatically, Bill very traumatically.
Yeah.
I think, and this has happened before where the Doctor just doesn't want a companion. I think Capaldi inherited. Who was it that just didn't? One of the recent Doctors just didn't want a companion.
Smith really didn't.
Yeah. And I think maybe after losing Clara, Capaldi didn't really want a companion.
Like Smith didn't want one after losing Amy.
After the Ponds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the P was so close to the Ponds.
Yeah.
Also, fortunately, and it doesn't look like they're going to go this way. I think they've subverted it. There's not going to be a bloody romantic subplot, at least not with the Doctor. None of the companions are going to fall for the Doctor.
Oh, right.
I think there might be one with Yasmin and Ryan. I'm hoping.
Right. I think it's going to be kind of a pawn situation.
Yeah, possibly with the old guy, the third wheel. The new theme is going to take some getting used to.
I didn't even hear it, actually.
It's just kind of a more subdued version of the classic theme.
Like, they didn't play it when I watched it.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it on BBC America?
Yes.
Okay, I watched it on BBC. I have a Chrome plugin or extension that lets me do that. And so it's a bit more subdued. Some have said it's similar to the original themes. It's going to be take some getting used to. So you didn't see the parade of guest stars after the credits?
No.
They, instead of showing the next episode, they just kind of showed every guest star who's going to be showing up in the season.
Okay, I'm glad I missed that because I'd rather be surprised by it.
Yeah.
The fun of having a guest star is like, oh my god, it's this person. And then to just ruin that.
Right. Most of them I didn't recognize. They're random English actors.
It's dumb.
Two caught my attention. I do have to shout out that I'm really looking forward to. Mark Addy is going to be in an upcoming episode. Love Mark Addy.
So help me if you say coin.
No. Unfortunately, no. Coil.
Coil, yeah.
Coin would be interesting.
Coin would be interesting, but yeah, if you say coil, holy shit.
Unfortunately, not Coil yet. I will mention before I get to that. I've been very vocal about wanting
Coil should be the next Doctor.
Well, actually, that's a larger discussion. I'm just going to drop that last name. Alan Cumming is going to be a guest star.
All right.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I've been very vocal about wanting Richard Coyle as the Doctor. Still do.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And when Idris Elba started getting floated, I was very vocal about wanting Chiwetel Ejiofor to play the Doctor.
Elba is, I mean, he's gonna have a big movie career.
Yeah,
There's no way they'd get him back to do
well, true,
television.
true. But now I'm glad they chose to go with a woman, and this opens up an interesting door because, well, Helen Mirren has said she wants to play the Doctor. I think that's redundant because we've already seen that with River.
Yeah,
River was Helen Mirren as the Doctor because she
pretty
was practically.
much.
But this opens up the door to an actor who I think most people would love to see play the Doctor. I hope she's next. Tilda Swinton.
Hmm. I could
Tilda,
see it.
Tilda Swinton is so she's Bowie,
True.
you know, Bowie as the Doctor, a female Bowie as the Doctor.
I think they did like a video together, her and Bowie.
Wouldn't
She was
surprise
in
me
she was in one of Bowie's last videos.
because she's very androgynous and she's fairly, and I don't mean literally, but she in terms of persona fairly alien.
Yeah.
Which and alien doctors are something we really haven't seen much. I mean, Smith was the most alien, but he was still very human.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
he's probably one of the most alien doctors we have,
yeah.
and he did have a lot of good
Oh
episodes.
yeah, and when I criticize the doctors, I mean the direction they took the role. I don't think
Oh,
anybody was poorly cast.
and Smith did have a lot of those where he looked down upon humans. Like there were moments, but they were obvious moments of weakness,
Yeah, yeah.
that he had, and he was
Mhm.
called out for it.
And
Whereas
Smith,
Eccleston was sort of like a, haha,
well, yeah, yeah.
I'm the
and
doctor.
and also the thing with Eccleston, he was a bitter doctor
Yeah.
because he had just they had working the whole war angle in that, and he was the veteran, he was the vet doctor.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I mean, even I say Smith was not one of my favorites. His performance was brilliant.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in the role. I just didn't care for the direction they took the character. And I think that's all. I can't really criticize anybody performance wise, at least the doctors.
Yeah.
They all were all great in their own way. I just whether it's just a matter of whether or not I liked where they
Some of
took the
those
role.
old ones were just really tough to watch.
I've seen at least one or two arcs with each doctor. I have quibbles about the direction they took the role, but I can't really criticize the acting. The only acting I can criticize in the whole of the franchise is Eric Roberts as the Master in the movie. And Eric Roberts has his thing, and he's very good at it. He just didn't work as the Master. I acquired a copy yesterday, and I was skimming through it, and and this is going to go against something I said a couple of weeks ago, but it is really a Power Rangers version of Doctor Who.
Oh God. And we're gonna review this. I'm gonna have to watch the
Rip it
whole thing.
apart. But speaking of the Master, I cannot wait to see Whittaker's Master.
Oh wait, who's the master?
We don't know yet because
Oh,
Missy's gone,
yeah.
which I hate because she was the best Master.
Oh, I like the guy before
I
her.
like John Sims. I adore Missy.
Yeah.
I modeled the villain in my novel after her. I imagine Michelle Rodriguez as Missy while writing the villain. I love Missy, so I'm really curious to see who's going to be the new master, and if they're going to swap gender again to back to a man.
There was this other series that's on Netflix. I think it's called River,
Mm.
where John Sims is like a member of parliament.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
John
really
Sims
great.
was probably the best of the three or four best master yet of his time. He was
Yeah.
great. He was really insidious. He was brilliant. Missy just dripped sinister,
Yeah, she's very arch.
and I loved that. She played Arch beautifully. I would have loved to seen her go up against Tennant.
Yeah, I don't know if Tennant would have had the patience for that.
Yeah, sure. I guess Capaldi had more of an Arch, old school kind of vibe to him, so it worked.
I wasn't she also like Matt with
No, she
Matt
came in
Smith?
with Capaldi.
Oh, she came with Capaldi only.
Yeah, because I'm pretty yeah, because she was it was the season when um, what's her name? Clara's boyfriend had a boyfriend,
Mm.
and she was working at a school, and he ended up dying.
Oh yeah.
That's when Missy was brought in. I think that was when she was brought in. No, that's when they revealed it. No, her
Yeah.
first episode was the one where basically the heaven angle that they played. The character died and supposedly went to heaven. That's when they introduced Missy, and it was Capaldi. It was a Clara era Capaldi. So yeah, very encouraged by the first episode. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the companions will be better. They're a little bit of a blank slate at this point,
Oh
but
yeah.
really looking forward to Jodie Whittaker. Anyway, that's it for the first episode of Doctor Who. I'm sure we're probably going to check in the middle of the season, do another one of these, and then a wrap up at the end of the season.
Or if one comes along and we just say, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, we need to talk about this, right? Until next time, always remember, never forget, wherever you go in life, there
There
you
you
are.
are.